Those are pictures, meanwhile, of Salman Khan leaving for the court. As you said, that he has to pay that 30,000 bond. So from Bandra to Bombay High Court will take him more than an hour, hour and a half. But go ahead. I want to understand this. As the fans are there looking at Salman as he goes out of court, there's a craze, of course, for Salman. He's going in this car to the court where he will pay this 30,000 bond and get away with it today. That he will be perhaps back home early evening. He will not spend a day at the end of the day in Arthur Road Jail. But I want to understand that as those pictures, we play those pictures. Just tell me, if he was a truck driver today in a drunk driving case, would he get A, 5 years? But B, would he also get bail so quickly?
Interestingly, in all probability, if he was a truck driver, he would have absconded, got another license made, and would be doing exactly what he was doing somewhere else.
Taken that, let us assume that I am a truck driver, I get caught in a drunk driving case, I get caught. Will I get A, 5 years? Yes or no?
Not at all. Not at all.
Right. So 5 years he won't get, he would have probably got a year or two.
2 years, 3 years.
Would he have got bail right away, like Salman got in this case, after a lower court order, or would he have had to spend some time in jail?
Let me put it like this.
Yes.
Depending on the kind of lawyer he would have got, irrespective whether he's a famous lawyer or not, I'm just talking about a hard-working lawyer or a not hard-working lawyer. If he had a hard-working lawyer, he might have got some benefit, probably a day or two inside the jail, but he would have got out.
He would have got out. He would have got out, perhaps some would say not as fast as Salman had.
Not as fast, but
not as fast. Okay, so that's where the Hari Salve factor comes in. That's when you have the country's top lawyer, it helps you. But broadly, as Kapil is pointing out, even if you were a truck driver, you would probably get bail. It's important to understand this, because there are people out there who are saying, why has Salman got bail? The fact is, that's the law of the land. It isn't, yes, he had the benefit of good lawyers, but even if Salman was a truck driver, he would have probably got bail. He may not have got 5 years conviction as well. What he certainly would not have got if he was a truck driver is this kind of media coverage. That's certain. Whatever else he did or not, to the point where we are now seeing the cars of Salman being followed in a motorcade all the way from Bandra to Bombay High Court. And that's a long distance that will be tracked there by those cameras who are tracking every move of Salman. Hema Malini, actor MP, is on the phone. Hema Malini ji, your first reactions to Salman's sentence being suspended, ma'am?
I'm very happy.
Right.
He's on bail now. He doesn't have to go to the jail.
Do you think that what is the example which is being set out? He doesn't have to spend even one night. There will be those who will say that Salman has got off lightly, or you believe he has got adequate punishment?
No, see, first of all, I want to know what is accident. This is an accident which happened, right? No, nobody did it purposely.
Yes.
The accident has not taken place. Somebody has done it to someone. It is an accident. So, like this, so many accidents take place all over the country.
Yes,
so
but
everybody is punished, everybody is put in the jail.
Madam, but if he was drunk and driving, then it's a different kind of accident. Let's be clear. Then once he was charged under culpable homicide not amounting to murder, not for rash and negligent driving. But you still believe that Salman has received his due punishment.
He has received the punishment. If he has done something wrong, then definitely he should be punished. Of course, he should be punished if he has done mistakes.
Right. Right.
But at the moment, I am very happy. He doesn't have to go through these things right now.
Right.
It is only because of all his fans and well-wishers, good wishes, that he's on bail now.
Right. Hema Malini ji, appreciate your joining us. That's the view of a member of parliament. You know, it is, there will be this argument. We are showing now, my God, our camera has decided to show the journey all the way to the Bombay High Court. It's a long journey. What is it? 19 kilometers, guys? Yes, 19 kilometers is that entire journey which Salman Khan will take. This is new age television, where every step of Salman is being followed. There are camera crews accompanying him. That, as I said, would certainly not happen to a truck driver. And it is also means that the other big story which you are seeing on your screen, David Cameron, is set to become Britain's Prime Minister once again. The Conservatives may not get a full majority, but are falling only mildly short of it. So, Ab ki baar Cameron Sarkar is going to be the slogan in Britain. Remember, that's what he appealed to the Indian diaspora. Ab ki baar Cameron Sarkar is what we're getting. But at the moment, it's Ab ki baar Salman Khan as far as Mumbai is concerned. Every step of the actor is being followed by television camera. Nisha, somewhere this has become a tamasha. I mean, are Mumbaikars now seeing this television coverage at times as a bit of a tamasha or not?
Rajdeep, Bombay is a more dramatic city. It's ruled by Bollywood. Bollywood is something that people keenly follow. So it stands to reason that yes, people must be celebrating, and it's an exciting moment when their favorite star's free. But yes, there is a tamasha element. Definitely, I agree with you. I hope in all this, the slightly more grave situation doesn't lose its essence. My personal wish is that people become way more cautious before they drink and drive. Because why can't this also be viewed as a certain precedence for Bollywood to not show, driving fast and drinking as a sort of heroic thing?
That's precisely,
I think this
that's precisely my point. Do you really believe that will change? Do you really believe, or is it still seen as is it still seen as cool to drive fast, or do you believe that this case verdict or will change anything? That's the worry, that people out there will say, look, I'm going to go and drive, drink and drive, because the law at the end of the day is not as tough as it is in the United States. In the United States, if you're caught drunk and driving and kill someone, you can't say like Hema Malini said on my program, it's an accident. You will pay the price for it. And I know there's a case in Los Angeles recently where someone's been given 11 years in jail and community service. So the laws are very different in this country. So people might still go and drink and drive tomorrow.
But I don't think we can lose the point where we see him going through this trial for 13 years. It can't have been easy. And the man can't be the same. I mean, there would be a certain degree of immaturity 13 years ago. But today I'm certain he must be a changed man, fearing for after all, we are still at a place where the hearing is going to go on. There's going to be argument. We are not certain whether it's going to be 5 years or not. He would lose 5 years of his life. So I'm hoping that isn't lost upon the people of Bombay, and especially Bollywood, where I'm hoping that drinking, smoking, driving fast, convertibles, rolling over and catching fire is no longer considered cool. I'm hoping this is going to be an important case which brings a turning point to all people, who think it's cool and it's fancy to drink and slur and roam around in cars. I hope even the police, Satyapal Singh can take another leaf out of this and say, hey, I'm going to come stronger on Bombay streets and make it mandatory for people not to drive, especially on festivals and on Holi. I've seen it myself. I drive myself and I see how irresponsibly people drive, and it bothers me a lot.
Someone has tweeted here saying, when a rich drunk person without license drives an SUV over poor people, kills one, hurts three, he won't be punished because he's a celebrity. How will you respond to that? Is that true?
I think what he should know is that he should be scared, really scared, to bring in bad laws only because somebody is a celebrity and you want to put him behind bars. That law is going to come and bite you someday. You see?
But look at the law in the States. In the United States, I'm giving an example of California. In California, if you're drunk and driving without a license and you take your SUV and ram it into someone, you will get an extended period in prison.
Absolutely. But
in India, you won't. And the case will take 13 years, will drag out. New witnesses will come. Now you may have a retrial and the matter will go on and on. Which system is fairer? The United States system in California or the system in India?
You see, the law is very clear, even in America and here, that you have to prove your case beyond all reasonable doubt.
Yes.
Because if there is any doubt, that benefit will be given to the accused. It is here, it is also there in America. The cops have to do a better job. I don't know why they do not bring in forensic evidences, they do not bring in camera evidences, and for reasons best known to themselves, drop witnesses. That cannot happen there.
Kapil, the law in this country, section 3042,
yes,
culpable homicide not amounting to murder, the judge can give a maximum of 10 years.
Yes.
Right? As we have seen and as you've been saying, in most cases they don't even get 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. Salman got 5, let's say. But at the end of the day, you can go to a higher court, appeal, and the appeal will go on for years. Your sentence is suspended. There will be people, and Satyapal Singh is saying, what is the message which is going out? The message is which will go out to some at least is you can get away, because the law itself allows so much of discretion to the judiciary, unlike the West, where you will go behind the clink.
You see, the judiciary has no discretion apart from going through the evidence that has been brought by the prosecution and the holes that are dug in by the defense. And in this case also, what has been argued is whether Patel's statement can be taken and what is the evidentiary value of the defense witness who was the driver. And that is exactly what happens even in America. Yes, the laws take a lot of time here.
Right.
The trial stretches, but that's because we have unfortunately too many matters and too little judges.
Okay, that's one issue, but it's also the question of clarity of the law. There's a question of clarity of law. Let me go to Kamlesh Sutar, joining me from outside the Bombay High Court. Kamlesh, Salman is on his way to the courts, going to pay the bond. Today is the last day, is it, before the summer holidays of our judges start? Another problem, we have long holidays for our judges in this country, unlike for journalists.
Well, yes, the court, today is the last working day of, and the court goes on vacation till 9th of June. So technically Salman Khan will have to present today itself. And as we know, Salman Khan has left his house. And the last report that we got, Salman Khan was on the Bandra Worli ceiling. So he should be here in another 20 odd minutes. He'll be reaching here at the Sessions Court, the trial court, which had given Salman Khan the judgment against Salman Khan. He'll have to come to the trial court. And then
Okay.
bail. But at this point in time, the back gate, the same gate that...
Okay, we are having a bit of a problem with Kamlesh, your audio at the moment. The moment I can get that, I'll try and come to you there at the moment. There, Kamlesh Sutar. As you can see, the streets of Mumbai seem rather empty. This is not the Mumbai that I know, where I would have thought that Salman Khan going in a car, the streets would be a little bit more clogged. Maybe he's found that on a Friday the roads are being cleared for the superstar as well. What is this practice where you've got a personal bond?
Yes.
That has to be filed of rupees 30,000. Now people will also argue there again. 30,000. Now of course, as again to bring the truck driver analogy, I would say for a truck driver even 30,000 may be a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But for a Salman Khan 30,000 is not. Should in future the bond also be in proportion to your wealth? If I'm a wealthy film star, then I pay a little bit more. Put the money in the state's coffers and give that money as compensation to the victims. Why not that? Why not introduce some changes in the law, Kapil?
You are absolutely right. And laws need to be better than what they are right now.
Yes.
But understand this for a moment. It's been argued that because he's a celebrity, he has been given additional benefits. Now, if you want to treat him like a regular commoner, a regular Indian, you have to also see that the laws are not twisted merely because he's a celebrity. So unless and until the laws are created so that they're equal for everyone, so an industrialist or for a celebrity or a person who pays more taxes has to pay a bigger bond, that could be done, but that should be done for everyone then.
No, my point is we've seen in the past industrialists, VIPs, actors, celebrities, they've been able to influence witnesses. They've got witnesses to turn hostile. They've got, whether it's the Jessica Lal case, there have been other hit and run cases where those who are rich and have the money can influence the entire system. And therefore the system needs to perhaps have a slightly different approach to those who are rich and famous.
Absolutely.
That's the only question I'm raising. I'm not against the fact that Salman has got bail. He should get bail pending appeal, because bail should be a right that every individual has, even if you're a film star. However, if your bail bond is going to be just 30,000 rupees and you're Bollywood's biggest star, then questions will be raised. Why not put that money and compensate those victims? And when will Abdullah get his compensation?
Absolutely.
13 years of his life have been lost.
And for that, let us change the laws and make it equal for everyone. Let us not make a special case here only because this is Salman Khan, a Bollywood celebrity. Let us create laws so that every person, according to the taxes he pays or according to the assets that he has to pay compensation or has to pay the bond according to the taxes that he's paying. And there is another part of it, that there are cases where, important cases or big cases where witnesses have been bought or, things like those have happened. But let us remember, those cases are not this case. There is no allegation, even remotely, by the prosecution that any witness was being tampered or there was any hanky-panky that took place. In fact, as far as I understand, apart from one witness, there was no other witness who turned hostile. And Mr. Patel was not brought in by the prosecution. The forensic evidence was not brought in by the prosecution. And material witnesses like Kamal Khan was not brought in by the prosecution.
आई नो अब्दुल्ला जी, आप अगर हमारे साथ हैं, आज सलमान खान को 30,000 रुपए का बेल बॉन्ड दिया जा रहा है, क्या समझते हैं उस 90 लाख में से एक भी पैसा आपके पास आया है? जो पैसा सलमान को कहा गया था कोर्ट में डिपॉजिट करे, उसमें से कुछ पैसा आपको अभी तक मिला है?
1,80,000 मिला था सर।
1,80,000। आज तक 13 साल में आपको 1,80,000 रुपए मिले हैं और कुछ नहीं मिला?
जी नहीं।
See, that is precisely it. You know, Nisha, you can go on. You know, this is my problem. 13 years of life and the court wheels of justice moving too slowly. Abdullah has got just 1,80,000. That's the problem with the system.
Yes, I absolutely agree. In fact, I had a lot of tweets and a lot of messages on social media asking me why Salman Khan could not have, on humanitarian grounds, you know, done something for these families. And I know that it would compromise him legally, but would there have been some way that he could have seen to the welfare? After all, this man has lost the use of one leg. Even if he could just have been given a job by another director, I think there are ways in 13 years that you could help these families. So I'm hoping that this bail statement that he's won initiates some amount of help that could be given to Abdullah and the man who, you know, lost his life. So the wife and the son could be helped, because none of them seem to have a livelihood. So yes, I agree with you. But on the other hand, Rajdeep, I want to point out what Kapil said. He said if it was a truck, coming back to your favorite truckers analogy, a truck driver would not have got 5 years sentence. He would have got much less. So my counter question to you, Kapil and Rajdeep, is then, Salman also loses out just because he's Salman Khan. And like you said last time, he's being brought down a peg or two. The learned judge, is he using Salman to prove a point?